If you were looking how to AFK in GTA Online without ruining your controller, without doing anything really complicated, this is the video for you. Over the years, there have been numbers of ways to AFK in the game. Rockstar has kind of patched a lot of them. The most recent way to AFK that I think is still the best if you can get it to work is to go inside of the LS car meet, go to the test drive, and then when you back out of the test drive, it says like, do you want to exit? If you leave it at that screen, it should work and you should never get kicked. Although a lot of people recently were reporting on certain platforms that doesn't work anymore. Not entirely sure if Rockstar has patched it somehow on certain platforms or whatever, but some people are having issues with that way. So this video is going to show you guys a new way to AFK that should work for everyone, any platform, and it is just as easy. Now, I'll show you guys how to do the AFK first, and then we'll get into why you want to AFK if you don't know. The process is very simple. Just go to your apartment or your CEO office. Now, I will just have a little disclaimer. Only certain apartments do work with this. And the reason is because only certain apartments, certain higher end apartments have the option to redecorate the furniture. If you have a CEO office, though, it should work in there because you can do the same thing. I am going to do this in the Eclipse Towers penthouse, so that obviously works. Just go to your apartment and see if you have the apartment style option when you're in your interaction menu. So that's the first step. We're going to go to our apartment or office, hit the interaction menu, and then hit the apartment style. When you're in the apartment style, it'll come up with a bunch of these options. At the bottom right, it'll actually say preview. If you hit enter, or I think it's like A or X on the consoles, you don't actually pay that amount when you go through the preview. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to hit preview. It doesn't matter which one, just choose one. And now that we're in this previewed state, that's it. All you need to do now is just leave your console or leave the game, and you will AFK without getting kicked. You have to leave this little interaction menu up. I believe if you hit back, you'll see what happens to me. It just puts you back into your normal apartment style. So make sure when you are doing this, you leave that inventory menu, the interaction menu up, and then you just AFK. This is going to prevent, I know a lot of people on consoles, they like use rubber bands or something like that to have the joystick constantly having the character walk in a circle. That's actually pretty bad for your controller if you play like pretty precise shooting games. I think it's a thing called joystick drift. It could end up not necessarily ruining the controller, but it makes it not as good as it could be. Again, if you are like doing any of those FPS games where precise aiming matters. So that's why using like a controller with a rubber band around it, or just like upside down, having it constantly move your character in circles, is a bad idea. And that's why this way to AFK is actually really good, because you don't need to do that. I guess if you are on console, the one thing you might need to make sure is to change the console settings, like in the actual console settings tab, to make sure it doesn't turn off after an hour or something like that. But that's pretty easy. It's pretty simple to do. All you need to have is an apartment or the CEO office that has the apartment style. And then you just preview one of them and boom, you can AFK for a long time. Now, why would you AFK if you're wondering? It's actually one of the best ways to make money. So the nightclub is actually the best business in the game if you can AFK. I think most people know what the nightclub is. If you have a bunch of the other businesses and then you buy the nightclub and you set it up, the nightclub just passively earns you money. And so by AFKing for long periods of time, when you get back onto the game to play, if you AFK'd for, I don't know, let's say 12 hours, like overnight or something like that, you probably will have a couple $1 million in that nightclub balance that you can now sell. So that's truly the benefit of these AFK systems. It is mainly for that nightclub. Some of the other businesses that have passive income obviously work as well, but the nightclub is the one you're mainly going to be doing this for. The one thing I will say, make sure you do not become an MC or a CEO before you go AFK. One thing that can happen if you're a CEO or an MC is you can get raided. Your businesses can get raided. I don't think the nightclub can get raided. Maybe it can. but I do know like the special cargo warehouse can get raided and you can lose all your stuff if you are an MC or a CEO. So make sure you're not that. The only downside to this is you will be paying those fees every, I think it's what, 48 minutes in game. But honestly, Rockstar's made them so little nowadays that it's not even really worth it to think about or to worry about. The amount of money you're going to be making AFKing far surpasses the amount of money you're going to lose from those fees. So yeah, that is how you can AFK. It's a new updated way. Very simple. You can do it very easily. You can do it in a public lobby. You can do it in a solo lobby. It does not matter. But if you're looking to make some money pretty easily, if you have a bunch of those passive income businesses and you can afford to leave your console or your PC on overnight, then this is a no-brainer to get some easy money. I mean, you're going to be wanting to save some money, especially for that upcoming December DLC in a couple of months. They're usually the big DLCs, so more than likely this year's is going to be no different, and you're definitely going to want some cash for that. And hopefully this video helps you guys out. So thank you all for watching. That's going to do it for the video. Please drop it a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA content, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.